Episode 2 begins immediately after the events of Episode 1. Yoo-jian is taken to the hospital following the panic attack she suffered during the storm at Cha Eun-won's counseling office. By the time she arrives, Jian is already feeling much better. Her agency CEO rushes over and asks whether she's okay. Jian reassures him that she's fine and there's no reason to worry. However, the CEO is furious about what happened and decides that Eun-won should be held responsible for the incident. He even talks about taking legal action against the counselor for negligence. To everyone's surprise, Jian immediately defends Eun-won. She insists that what happened wasn't his fault and tells them there's no need to pursue the matter further. Both her CEO and manager are shocked because Jian rarely speaks positively about anyone. As the CEO and manager leave the room, the manager comments that perhaps Eun-won's counseling is already having a positive effect on her. Outside, Eun-won happens to overhear the conversation. Even though Jian claims she's fine, Eun-won quietly wonders whether she's really okay. Strangely, Jian hears that thought. Believing someone nearby spoke out loud, she asks her manager if he just questioned whether she was okay. Confused, he tells her he didn't say anything at all. Jian brushes it off, but something clearly feels strange. The next day, Jian attends a meeting with director Kim, a famous filmmaker preparing a new movie. She is shocked to discover that Han Ijin is also being considered for the lead role. During the meeting, Jian's CEO desperately tries to convince director Kim to cast her. He even claims that Jian is a huge fan of the director's work and has read all of his novels. Unfortunately, Jian's lack of enthusiasm immediately exposes the lie. Director Kim decides to be honest. He tells them that he doesn't believe Jian is right for the role. In his opinion, her acting style simply doesn't fit the character he has written. The role appears destined for Han Ijin. Instead of accepting the criticism gracefully, Jian fires back with her usual confidence. She asks director Kim whether he has a crush on her. The entire room falls silent. Jian argues that he speaks as though he knows her personally, even though he doesn't know anything about her. Ignoring everyone's attempts to stop her, she boldly declares that she never wanted the role anyway and storms out of the meeting. Surprisingly, rather than being offended, director Kim finds her behavior amusing and calls her interesting. Not long afterward, Jian receives unexpected news after all. Director Kim changes his mind and offers her the lead role after all. Jian is thrilled. The announcement quickly spreads through the entertainment industry, and Han Ijin is visibly upset when she learns she has lost the role. At the same time, another story begins unfolding behind the scenes. Han Ijin's stylist is secretly responsible for spreading damaging rumors about Jian online. As she prepares to post negative information, she remembers the past. The stylist once worked for Jian. Back then, Jian treated her kindly and even offered financial support when the stylist's mother became seriously ill. Jian promised to cover expensive medical expenses and encouraged her not to worry. Despite remembering Jian's generosity, the stylist still goes ahead and publishes the rumors. Soon, negative stories and an old video involving Jian begin spreading across social media. Meanwhile, Jian happily arrives to sign her movie contract, completely unaware of the damage being done to her reputation. Her celebration doesn't last long. Director Kim's assistant interrupts the meeting and informs everyone that a major scandal involving Jian is rapidly spreading online. Jian immediately denies the accusations. She insists she never said or did the things being claimed. Even worse, her own CEO and manager seem unsure whether they fully believe her. Although Jian admits she has a bad temper, she insists she would never behave as cruelly as the rumors suggest. Unfortunately, the damage has already been done. The production decides to cancel her contract, and Jian loses the movie role she had just secured. That evening, feeling completely defeated, Jian visits a convenience store and sits alone with a drink. While sitting there, she suddenly starts hearing emotional thoughts that don't seem to belong to her. The feelings are so intense that they overwhelm her. When she looks around, she discovers that Cha Eun-won is sitting nearby. The emotions she's hearing appear to be his. As she experiences his sadness and concern, Jiyeon unexpectedly starts crying. Confused and frustrated, she blurts out that he's the reason she's crying. The next morning, she is deeply embarrassed by what happened. Meanwhile, Eun-won wakes up after apparently drinking too much. His friend teases him and reveals that Jiyeon was the one who helped take care of him. When Eun-won learns this, he remembers the previous night and becomes increasingly confused by everything that's happening between them. Later, Jiyeon is called to her agency to renew her contract. Assuming it's routine paperwork, she prepares to sign immediately. However, the CEO forces her to actually read the document first. For the first time, Jiyeon discovers just how much her value has fallen. The proposed contract heavily favors the company, giving her only a small share, while the agency takes the majority of the profits. Furious, Jiyeon refuses to sign. The CEO argues that the contract reflects her current market value after the scandal. Jiyeon feels betrayed and accuses him of changing his attitude now that her career is struggling. She storms out once again, convinced that the rumors won't destroy her career permanently. Later, she calls her manager, expecting to hear about endorsement offers and business deals. Instead, she learns that not a single company wants to work with her anymore. The reality of her situation finally begins to sink in. Still unwilling to admit defeat, Jiyeon rejects her manager's suggestion that she apologize to the CEO. Soon afterward, she receives another unpleasant surprise. She is informed that she needs to move out and change departments within the company. Determined to prove she can succeed on her own, Jiyeon decides to purchase a new home. Unfortunately, she becomes the victim of a real estate scam. When she arrives at her newly purchased property, she discovers several other people claiming ownership of the same house. Realizing she has been cheated, Jiyeon heads to the police station to file a report. Because she has to remove her sunglasses, everyone immediately recognizes her. The police officers are shocked that a celebrity managed to buy a property without properly reviewing the paperwork. Already humiliated, Jiyeon finds herself becoming the center of attention again. While sitting at the station, a young woman secretly takes photos of her and uploads them to social media with insulting comments. Normally, Jiyeon would immediately lash out, but because of her recent scandals, she forces herself to stay calm. At that moment, Yoon-hwan appears. He takes the woman's phone and firmly explains that taking photos without permission and posting them online violates someone's privacy. When the woman argues, Yoon-hwan points out that her post contains false information and could cause serious harm. Jiyeon is genuinely touched to see someone defending her. Afterward, the two leave together. As they walk, Yoon-hwan silently wonders once again whether Jiyeon is truly okay. To his shock, Jiyeon answers him. She reveals that she can somehow hear his thoughts. Eun-won is stunned because he never spoke out loud. Jiyeon thanks him for helping her and starts to walk away. A moment later, she suddenly stumbles. Eun-won rushes to help and asks one more time if she's okay. This time, Jiyeon finally breaks down. Through tears, she begs everyone to stop asking whether she's okay. She insists she's fine, yet her emotional reaction clearly reveals the opposite. And with that emotional confession, episode 2 comes to an end.